Alright, let's go over some drums. The drums I'm going to show you today that you're going to hear, I used 10 mics. This is for a band that I tracked. And I grabbed a little snippet of it and I'm going to show you how it was mic'd. There's actually 13 mics on the kit right now because I have another band that I'm recording tomorrow and I added a couple mics. Different kind of band. Pretty much the same drum setup, just some added mics. So, the room is 24 by 14.5 feet, hardwood floors, and the walls are off axis. There's 9 altogether, if I counted them all out for you, including the little pocket there. So, the drums, Tama Art Star 2, hard maple, it's from the 80s, virgin kit. I absolutely love this kit. It sounds amazing for many different styles, especially rock. So here we go. Inside the kick drum, I have a Yamaha MZ204, about 7 inches in, facing up on an angle, not directly towards the batter head, up on an angle towards the drummer's shin. It's about this far in. Outside the kick, I have this Neumann FET 47, and that's about 7 inches off the head. Snare drum is a Black Beauty with an SM57. Sometimes I use a Shure 98, one of those little ones, but this was an SM57 standard. Under snare is a Sennheiser 441. I flipped the phase on that. Hi-hat is a Neumann KM84. And if you look at the way I mic the hi-hat, it's kind of different than a lot of ways you see it. I don't direct mic the hi-hat. That always sounds kind of junky to me, not too much like a hi-hat. I go off axis on the side like that and sort of just capture a glance of it, is the way I could put it. And also, you should always check not only your phase, you should check all your phases between all your mics. But important one that a lot of people seem to forget is the hi-hat mic. Okay? You're flipping your under snare mic probably 90% of the time, unless you get it right with movement. But you should also check your hi-hat mic. Overheads is a stereo pair of AKG 451Es with a 10 dB pad installed in CK1 capsules. That's approximately 44 inches off the snare. The toms, I have Sennheiser 421 U5s. Now the kit you're going to hear only has a rack tom and this floor tom, which is a 12 and an 18 inch. I added this 14 inch for the band I'm recording tomorrow. So the kit you're going to hear isn't going to have that tom on it. Okay, so that's kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom, 2 tom mics, a hi-hat, stereo overheads, and then there's one more mic, 10 altogether on the kit. And that mic is over here. It's a mono room mic. It's a Neumann U87, about 5 inches, capturing the bounce off the floor about 5 inches, set to cardioid. And I'm doing something really cool with that mic in the mix you're gonna hear. So that's 10 mics, that's the kit. For the session tomorrow, I added this stereo ribbon mic. It's an AEA R88, and all this is a stereo room mic that I'm going to combine with my mono room mic. And then I also added the other tom, so that's 13 mics I'll be using tomorrow. Sometimes I use 18 mics, sometimes I only use 9 mics. I usually don't go under 9. I mean, there has been times for some stuff I did, like indie band, where I only used 7 mics, and that was cool. They got a good sound out of that. So that's the kit, and I have all these mics coming through. There's an XLR plate behind here. I don't know if you could see it back there. Let me move this so I can show you it. All going to that XLR plate, and from there it all goes into my control room. All those mics into the preamps. The preamps recorded to 2-inch tape. This is a JH24 1983, calibrated perfectly. From the tape machine, I took the tracks, all 10 mics, and threw my burls into Pro Tools. You got 10 tracks in Pro Tools. Kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom, tom, floor, stereo overhead, hat, and mono room that I just showed you. From Pro Tools, I come back out of my burls, and it comes onto my console. Again, all 10 mics lined up here. Kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom, the 2 toms, stereo overheads, hi-hat, and mono room. Besides these 10 mics, I am bussing out of my console into an API stereo pair of 550 AEQs. The EQs then go to an API 2500 compressor, and I'm returning that into channel 11 and 12, harp pan left and right, and that's my drum bus right here. So let's give it a listen. So on these 10 mics, I have 3 compressors. On the kick in and snare top, I have the DBX 160 VU compressor. On the mono room mic that's capturing the bounce off the floor, I have the Valley People Dynamite, awesome compressor from the 70s. So let's go through these tracks. And then my favorite mic out of this whole kit that's adding the room sound is that Neumann U87 that's capturing the bounce off the floor, and here it is. That's the one mic on the kit that's making the room sound larger than it is, okay? And that's going through the Valley People. So let's hear the whole kit, and then I'm gonna take out the mono room mic, and you're gonna hear what we lose here. When you hear it without, the drums have a little bit more impact, and it actually sounds how the room looks. When I add it, it makes the room sound bigger than it looks. In Pro Tools, there's no plugins at all. There's nothing on in Pro Tools. These are the raw basic tracks set to unity gain, zeroed out in Pro Tools, coming out via my burls to these channels. There is no EQs at all on these drums. You are hearing microphone, you're hearing the instruments, which is the drum kit, the microphones, and the preamps. From there, in the Pro Tools, coming back out, no plugins, nothing like that. You're hearing just the console and the mix bus of the console. There's no EQs on this drum set at all, except for the drum bus. I told you that I have a pair of 550A EQs on it, okay? The most important thing you could do in recording is trust your ears and take time. When you get a band in, don't rush to start tracking them right away. Get their cue mix set up good and move mics around, get everything good. Do not press record until you are happy with the sound. Because if you're not happy with the sound when you press record, you will never be happy with the sound, no matter what you do to it. You might be able to fix it a little bit to lean one way, but it's never going to be truly good. Okay, so now, there's one more thing I have on this kit that I'm using. On Echo 1, I am coming out, streaming down, variably adjusting as much reverb as I want on each track. I'm coming through down the board into the PCM60. Out of the PCM60, I could go to one of my 4 dedicated Echo returns, but I'm not doing that. And the reason why I'm not doing that is because in a mix, I like to automate my reverb depending on maybe a course of a song I want a little more space to. So I bring up the reverb just a little bit to add more life to the song. So I return it to channels 25 and 26. You can see right here it says PCM 60. So now I could add as much reverb as I want. Now, when I say I came to the Echo returns 1 and 2, I could add as much reverb as I want, but it's not going to be easy for me to automate 2 potentiometer faders as much as it is long throws like this. So I could goose this up during a course and then bring it back down. And that's what makes a song move. That's what gives a song movement. So the kick drum, inside kick and outside kick, is this Neve 1272. These are yellow tag Mariners. That's the kick drum sound you're hearing. Snare top and snare bottom are these API 312s. The 2 toms is another pair of API 312s. The stereo overheads, the AKG 451Es, I come back up to my Neve 1272s. And these are another pair of yellow tag Mariners. The hi-hat mic, I go back down to an API 312. And the mono room mic that you're hearing, the Neumann U87 on the floor, I come back up to another Neve 1272. And that Neve 1272 is that black Mountain Mariner. Have you ever see the black Neve transformers? That's what's in here. So out of this is a little kit that I have, and these are my most used preamps from here down. So that's that. Listen to the direct feed. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching taking the time and watching my videos.